Hi guys, and welcome to the talking. The Sport Lounge on Better TV and radio. And on this episode, I call it a special, very very special episode because finally Liverpool foul. Let me say the way I'll say it tomorrow. Liverpool foul don't born elephants. Their foul don't lay cook eggs. So it's something that I could say in the last 3 seasons we've been expecting it. But for me, 5 years ago, Umbrella FM, I predicted exactly this. I said that Jurgen Klopp was going to win the Premier League title for Liverpool in 5 years and a few other titles along it. And that he has done. In the last 5 years, if you think that 5 years ago, Liverpool ended in 8th position on the league table, and they were 40 points, 20 points behind the league leaders, and now they are over 20 points with winning the title with 7 games to spare, you would say they've make up a whopping 40 points ahead of every other person in the league. Not just that, they've won the league with the fastest time on the clock. So today, I have Precious Amosuwe, our usual suspect, but beyond that, we're going to travel the globe and get a few Liverpool fans here and there to express their feeling, talk about their high point, the best moment of the season for them, and how they see Liverpool going forward. Will they be able to repeat this? Will they do it a double? Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho, and then I think Alex Ferguson are the only coaches that have won the Premiership back-to-back. For Alex Ferguson, he's won it 3 times in a couple of occasions, and no other person have done that apart from him. But then let's see if they can achieve it. But straight away, I bring the guys, Precious Amosuwe, I think you're going to take a lot of backbench today. Let's give the celebrants the chance to celebrate their victory and enjoy themselves. Let's start with you, Solomon. Welcome straight away. When the season started, last season you lost only 1 game. And somehow it felt like a title you should have won, but you didn't win. I mean, no team has ever won in the Premiership with that much number of points. But then the consolation was, since the Pep Guardiola team was so good, you guys went on to win the Champions League. I won it by beating Pep Guardiola and his team in the course of the journey, right? So how did it feel to you coming into this new season? Did you feel like Liverpool still have something to prove? They must win the title.
Yeah, so for me, I would start by saying thank you for having me into your program, and then it's very good experience to have finally won our first league in 30 years. But apparently, I would say the experience of losing the finals to Madrid in Kiev in 2018 actually fueled my view that would become better in 2020. If you remember, we lost the finals in 2018. We came back stronger and won it in 2019. We also lost by 1 point last year, and we came better to win it this year. So I think I would have said I was a little bit sure, to an extent, that we could have won the league last year and that we could go a step better by winning this year, because the players had already experienced the heartache of finals and also getting closer. So, and this experience is the best teacher. So these boys had learned over time that they could use each experience they've acquired in the last 2 seasons to become a better team, which is evident in what you can see. Winning it in a record time, being 23 points with the champions currently. So for me, it was a very, very good feeling. I was a little bit sure, but I was expecting us to go.
All right, Solomon, your voice was fading off there. Because we have a lot of Liverpool fans queued up on the show today, and we can only have 4 people at a given time. We're going to be substituting here and there. So maybe once one person make a contribution, we'll bring in the other person so they don't feel really bad. In the waiting room, because we'll bring you back again. So Solomon, I'm sorry, but I've got to do this. I've got to let you go and bring in someone else. Please stay in the waiting room. We're going to bring you back in again so that you bring in, you answer a few more questions, because I really do have some questions to ask. China, I'm coming to you, but let me bring in Teslim Dauda. Now, China, the way this thing works is, we've seen a situation where everybody said Liverpool, they are, what's the word they use? They are bottlers. That's what I've heard. It's a new word that I've come to hear. Liverpool are butlers. Liverpool don't know how to navigate the final rush of the season. There's always that thing to happen. But then we noticed something in the last 2 seasons, that somewhere in Jurgen Klopp's design of his Genge pressing and the way he selects his team, he rationed his competition the same way he rationed his team selection. By that, I mean, he didn't deceive anybody to think, oh, I want to win a quadruple, I want to win 6 titles, I want to win 7 titles. He just knew that Champions League or the Premier League, the FA Cup and the Capital One Cup can wait. Okay? For you as a Liverpool fan, China, did you feel like, oh, it was a gamble too far? What if he doesn't win it? At least let's have something in the hand, the way Tottenham fans are feeling right now. Did you ever feel like that?
Yes, I did. I did. It was very, very frustrating for me because my feeling was you're chasing the league title, you're chasing the Champions League, but make we use this small one hold ourselves too. That was my mood at that time. I felt maybe we just hold ourselves with this one. You know the bad to win League Cup. You know the bad to win FA Cup. But the man's mind was made up. It was really frustrating, especially when the banter, the taunting and all. But somehow, somewhere deep inside my mind, I had a feeling that Klopp will come through. Remember his first press conference, he said, I've come here to change doubters to believers.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years of Klopp to become a believer. 3 years of Klopp. I remained a doubter ever since because I felt he was overdoing his rotation and deciding what trophy he wanted to win. Because when you've been a Liverpool fan for as long as I've been, you want to win everything that's called a cup, you want to win it. And if the league was not coming, I would have been happy if we were at least consistently winning the FA Cup and League Cup, but it wasn't happening. But of course, the last 2 years have been great for us. The last 1 year, so to say, have been great for us, and I forgive Klopp. I really forgive him, and I hope he stays for much longer.
China, it's strange that I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I have believed Klopp from the very first day. I think it was October 2016 or October 2015 or so.
2016.
October 2016. Yeah. When Brendan Rodgers was fired, and if you remember, Piers Morgan was billowing on everybody that they should fire Arsene Wenger, and I was part of them. Fire Arsene Wenger. You know my case for Arsene Wenger has been like that. Fire Arsene Wenger and bring in Jurgen Klopp. Because Jurgen Klopp was the kind of coach that Arsenal needed actually. He doesn't spend too much money. He gets the best kind of player, and he's the kind of coach that wants to be in charge. He doesn't need too many people controlling him. Arsenal was that kind of club. And I thought if he comes to Arsenal was going to compete for the title in a couple of years. And so he went to Liverpool. And I said to myself, one more club I've taken up the ladder. But before I come to you again and Precious, let me go to Teslim Dauda. Teslim Dauda, good evening and welcome to the Sports Lounge. Today, the show is 100% about Liverpool. Maybe a few things here and there, but 100% about Liverpool. For you, winning the title, and then coming from, let's take it back a bit. You played in the finals of the UEFA Cup, the Europa Cup, and lost to Sevilla, I guess. Played in the Champions League finals in Kiev, lost to Real Madrid, and then once it was clear that I was Spurs that you were playing in the finals of Champions League, it was obvious that Liverpool were going to win. There was only one winner. It wasn't a big deal. And you won that. Now you won the league. 30 years. I don't know where you were 30 years ago, but 30 years ago, I was a 12-year-old boy. And I didn't know the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal, which one was which. How is it feeling to you now that for the very first time since you start using social media, you are tweeting that Liverpool are champions of the Premier
League? First of all, good evening, and
good evening.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
And thank you for this privilege. And I will say it's what I've always hoped would happen. I've been looking forward to this day because I knew it was going to come. But the fright, we weren't sure when exactly. But it's been a long time coming. From from 1990, it went to 10 years, went to 20 years, went to 30 years.
Wow.
And but we knew, I mean, we were open, because from knowing that we can, it totally changed. From, when Rogers and Co bottled it, Benitez too bottled it, so we felt like, oh, it's a course. Then, in fact, there was a lot going on. Then before Liverpool can win a competition, something bad, something terrible has to happen.
And something terrible did happen.
And something terrible did happen. So, but I don't want to believe that's the joke. But back to your question, it's what I've actually looked up to, what I've always wanted to experience, because I've like the other people said, we have suffered, especially from Nigerian fans. we're in fact, if you say you're a Liverpool fan, they'll be like, where does that come from? Who supports Liverpool in this era? But it's the beauty of it is we're able to endure, because after the tunnel, the light will surely shine, and here we are. I mean, it wasn't just winning the league, but we won it in a grand style. That there was no dot or no comma about it. So won in the grand style, which has never been done before. So we thank God that it finally came. So we can always look forward to more.
Teslim, I wish I could keep you, but there are so many Liverpoolians or so many Copites that are waiting. So I'm going to let you go and bring in someone else in.
Thank you so much.
Before you go, congratulations. And seeing Liverpool win this title also gives me an Arsenal fan hope that, well, we will win our own. And hopefully, even though I think we might wait for more than 30 years, something at the back of my mind tells me if Arsenal keep operating like this, Arsenal is going to wait more than 30 or 50 years to win it. But with Liverpool's win, I have hope. I just don't pray that when Arsenal wants to win it, I don't pray for another pandemic, and I don't pray for another technology like VR to come to win it. But thank you for sharing your thoughts on the show. Well, we have to move fast.
Thank you so much.
Capture everybody's thoughts and opinion on this Liverpool success. It feels good to celebrate Liverpool, not just because they're Liverpool. Now, Precious, I want to come to you here. Statistically, Liverpool's failings, the time that Liverpool have spent not winning the title, have not really been that bad. If you consider that in 2001, they won 5 titles. They won the English FA Cup. They won the UEFA Cup against Alves. They won English FA Cup against Arsenal in Cardiff. Against Alves, they won the UEFA Cup in one of the most thrilling finals that we've ever seen. They also won the European Super Cup, won the League Cup, which is the Carling Cup at the time. 5 titles. And then Michael Owen somehow managed to win the World Footballer. Is it European Footballer of the Year or the Ballon?
European. Yeah.
Of the Year. And then Rafa Benitez won that dramatic and incredible UEFA Champions League. And then in the last 3 or 4 years, they've been playing in European finals. They played the Europa Cup finals, lost, played the Champions League finals, lost, played Champions League finals and won it. Then this year, they have won the league title. Statistically, would you say that Liverpool's 30 years of suffering before winning this league title can be compared to Arsenal's last 12 or 13 years?
Okay. I think for Liverpool, really, this is what I believe. For this season, it was just basically written in the stars. Like, when you all the elements work in your favor, like you actually deserve it. They were not, Liverpool this season were not their usually outlandish, swashbuckling best like they were last season, where they were blowing if the Liverpool of last season was a different team and they were going to play against the Liverpool of this season, you could say the Liverpool of last season would trounce the Liverpool of this season.
I agree too.
Yeah. Yes. But then in modern day football, there's something Mourinho introduced to football called periodization. There is
Please come back again with
something
that.
Klopp periodization.
Okay.
Okay. There are 7 components of periodization. Maybe we can have that discussion some other time. But there's something Klopp has done, which is to take very, very key detail elements of the game into detail. Now, you would find that Liverpool of this season have managed to kind of bring out that champion element that was not there. Like, there were games this season where it looked like these guys were not going to take 3 points, but somehow they just managed to win. There were games that were looking like boring draws. Remember the game against Everton,
Leicester,
and then they just
Everton,
blocked. Yeah, exactly.
Aston
Games
Villa.
where exactly. The Aston Villa game was a foregone conclusion, and then all of a sudden, Liverpool just won the game from nowhere. So that's what made this Liverpool of this season the champions that they are. I also want to kind of take a cue from what the last speaker said. And he said there's always light at the end of the tunnel, but it depends on the kind of tunnel. In all of these, compliments should really go to the management of Liverpool. Okay, at the time when Klopp was brought in, it was still very early in the season. It's not like they were battling. Their situation was not as bad as Chelsea under Mourinho, the season where Chelsea finished 10th. It wasn't that bad. Okay, and the table was kind of shaking at Chelsea already. But what the management of Liverpool did was they knew the guy they wanted. If Liverpool had waited maybe a month later, Klopp would have been Chelsea manager. Most likely would have been Chelsea manager. And this success would most likely have been Chelsea's success. However, it was not all rosy. All through the period, they really had to suffer. Like, I want to imagine if it was Roman Abramovich at the helm of affairs at Anfield. Losing European finals, coming second and all that, you probably have given him the boot already. But if you are talking about believers, China said he had to wait 3 years. I believe the executive management of Liverpool already were firm believers in Jurgen Klopp. If not, with the kind of demands of modern day football, the kind of success that owners want, they probably have kicked Klopp out, right? And this is something I think the Arsenal, let's try to relate this to Arsenal now. This is something that I think the board of Arsenal, I think they need to identify their man. Now they have Arteta. They have Arteta. They have Arteta who I still don't know his identity. I mean, you can say this is Klopp's identity.
Arteta is Ladamboso now. Stop.
Yeah.
I have a Fatah Mao in our club. He's that coach.
And so how long are you going to wait for Arteta? Yeah. So for me, I really think.
That's why I said earlier on that Arsenal can go 50 years without winning the title.
Yeah, because at the moment there is no identity. When Liverpool were bringing in Jurgen Klopp, they knew what they were getting in Jurgen Klopp. All right, they knew give this guy so time, he will deliver. Yeah, and he has delivered. What happens next season, I cannot tell you.
No,
that's
I like putting my neck at. Liverpool will not win the league title. They don't have a team that will win the league title next season. So let's forget about it. Pandemic will not be there. VRO will not work in their favor. China, if you like, look me, kill me. Okay.
You think VAR worked in their favor this season?
Yes, the game against Aston Villa, the game against Leicester, the game against Wolves. There are 6 games that VRO gave them this season. Let's forget about
Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
I don't want to rob them of their it's a well-deserved championship. It's another, there's nothing I can argue. Take away the VRO, they still would have won the title. Because the other 19 teams had the most horrible teams in the world right now. And it's because Liverpool is too good. But let me go to Idarikubo. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. I should think so. Idarikubo, you're welcome to
Good evening.
Good evening. The Liverpool celebration. And as a matter of fact, I've not had anybody who came in and shouted. If Arsenal had won the league title, I'll be making noise. I'll be very, very arrogant right now. I'm naturally arrogant. For an Arsenal fan, I am very arrogant. So if we win the title, this world, people don't go hear what. What
But
was
you
the,
know that you guys are not going to win the title in the next 20 years.
we might not win it in the next 50 years. At this rate. Arsenal fans will be, when they watch this, will be angry, but it's the truth. What was the feeling like? What was the feeling like? The very minute you knew, and this was before coronavirus, the very minute you knew that the points were piling up. For me, that game, Wolves versus Man City, was when Liverpool won the league. Wolves, Man City were 2 goals up. A Man City player got a red card, and then Wolves came from 2 goals down to win that game 3-2.
To win 3-2, yeah.
Liverpool were champions. I don't care what happened thereafter, Watford and all the rest. But for you, what was the moment that you knew we are champions and 30 years curse have been broken?
I think for me it was after the Leicester City game, after the Club World Cup finals, where everybody expected that Liverpool, after having a long trip, will come down away at Leicester. Leicester was going to win and the league title would be open between Leicester, Man City, and Liverpool. But we went to Leicester City and blew them out of the park. Trent had assist. Then after that Leicester City game, this Wolves Man City game that you just referenced to, I also had believed that we were going to win the league then. But the icing on the cake was when we beat Man U 2-0. Because you know the Man United fans, they kept making noise that they were the only ones that took points off us this season. So they said in Old Trafford, at Anfield, they will come and finish the job. But when we gave them 2-0 at Anfield, I just knew that the league was ours, no argument. Because by then we were already 15, 18 points ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Derek Kuma. Even though your network was a little bit blurry there, we're going to let you go now and bring in another Liverpool fan who is out there waiting in the cold. While I am doing that, I'm going to ask China one question that I've been wanting to ask him for a while. China, let me start with you on this. China, you do not hide your love for Liverpool. As a matter of fact, you're forcing your children to support Liverpool. You would rather, you will not pay their school fees if they refuse to support Liverpool. I don't know if that was what your father did to you, but that's what you're planning. Where committee of family members will take that matter up with you. Once Man United game was lost, once you beat Man United 2-0, you won the World Club Championship, you came back, you went in looking tired. You said it took you time to become a believer. And then all of a sudden, this rumor started panning out that Real Madrid wants to sign Mo Salah, Barcelona want to sign Sadio Mane, knowing fully well that the people that will replace those kind of players from your team are Divock Origi and Ezedra Shaqiri. What was the feeling like going forward? Like, okay, if we win the title this season, what's going to happen to this team next season? Did you ever have that kind of feeling? Hello, China.
Well, for me, what's going to happen depends on. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Yes, I'm saying, to me, the first thing was to win the title. Now, when it was obvious we are going to win the title, thinking about what happens next season, for me, it was not even relevant to me at that time, even up till now, because first thing was to break that jinx. 30 years without a trophy. That was the first thing. And over the past 5 years, we have begun to trust Klopp and our transfer committee with signings. There have been very few players we have signed that have failed. A lot of them have been successful. Salah, Mane, Ronaldo, just name them, Fabinho, Anderson. Exactly. So there have been very few we have signed that have been failures. So I've just been there feeling that whatever they do will work for us eventually. Remember the rumor in the past 2 months that Liverpool were going to sign Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. It was as if the club had told us eventually he went to Chelsea. But I'm here thinking that whoever we have in mind will be good enough. I'm looking at the Liverpool team this season, right? And I'm thinking, yes, you just said we will not win the league next season. I can't argue with that. But I'm thinking that this Liverpool team can dominate English football for the next 5 years. And dominating does not mean we'll win the league every one of those 5 years. But you know what I mean? We can dominate English football for the next 5 years. Because you look at the opposition, you look at where they are, you look at Arsenal, you look at Chelsea, you look at Man United, you look at Man City. I'm thinking that this our team can dominate. We just need, it took us some time. Salah came, Mane came, then we knew that we had the problem with our defense.
Alisson
Then
Becker
Van Dijk came. Van Dijk came, and we now brought in Alisson Becker to plug the last loophole. So I'm here thinking that we have done our transfer business well. What happens next season? I must tell you the truth. I don't care.
All right.
We are celebrating right now.
There is a friendly beast in the dark.
See the kind of person they get.
It's a friendly beast, and that's the reason why it's in the dark place. Beasts don't stay in the light.
Let take light.
So you know when you're a beast, you have to stay in the dark place. So let's try and see if the friendly beast can put on his microphone and get on board the conversation. Hello? I think he's driving to go look for lights. So we can let him go. We can actually let him go and get somebody else on board. But while we're getting somebody else on board, we're running out of time now. We might not need to have a second section. This section is enough. I want to say this, Precious.
Yes.
You are a Chelsea fan. Do you think this Liverpool, and meanwhile, all the way from San Antonio in Texas, Ayotunde Onobolu is joining us. Will give us a few talk on basketball, what's going to happen with the NBA. But before you come with that, let me go to Precious. Precious, you're a Chelsea fan. You guys have signed Hakim Ziyech. I don't know if he would fit in, but it looks like a player that will fit in. You have Timo Werner. Pulisic seems to be coming up now, doing what we expected of him. And, you know, the team seems to be finding its rhythm. There's a rumor that Chelsea are going to change their goalkeeper and also get a goalkeeper that is in the mood of Alisson Becker or Anderson and the rest of them. Do you think, looking at your team and the fact that Manchester United also look like a team that is stepping up a bit, it's a slow winding engine, a diesel engine. Do you think that this Liverpool team, as China said, that it would dominate English football for the next 5 years? Please, in less than 2 minutes, do you think that Liverpool have what it takes to dominate English football for another 5 seasons? Don't forget that they've been dominating for the past 3 seasons.
Yeah, I don't think so. If you study clubs, teams, they usually have cycles. And I think this Liverpool team have gotten to a point where the injuries will begin to set in. Yeah. On paper, they are more balanced than the other teams that we've mentioned, from the goalkeeping department to the attack. They are much more balanced. But I think injuries may not be kind to them going forward. Yeah, and then the guys who are coming in may not be able to churn out the kind of numbers that the likes of Salah, Mane, and Firmino put in. Take away a Virgil van Dijk, for example, and then it becomes difficult. And the edge they have over the likes of Chelsea and Manchester United is that they have won stuff together. Yeah, they have bled together and they have tasted victory together. However, I think the tipping point for the other teams will be injuries, really. Klopp has used these guys seriously, and those injuries will set in.
All right. Before I come back to China, where we'll round up, let me just go to Ayotunde Onobolu. And we're sorry for him joining us late. Well, he had some busy engagement that he needed to take care of. And we all understand he's been kayaking and doing all sorts of things, not doing social distancing. We've been seeing all of that. Thank you very much. Let's pepper us in Nigeria. We are prisoners here. Ayotunde Onobolu. We heard that the NBA is coming back next month, and Disney is the place. But there's so many talks. Some people say they don't want it to go on. Is it Kyrie Irving who say he doesn't want it to go on? Some want it to go on. Black Lives Matter is running down. Social distancing have disappeared in America. I saw you kayaking. There was no social distance. Please make sense of all of this. What is going on in America? I know people don't understand what it means for Liverpool to win the English League, but make sense of what is happening in the NBA. Your mic is not on. Is it only me? But I'm actually not hearing you.
I'm not hearing either.
Okay. Everybody's not hearing you. No, we're still not hearing you right now. And the clock is ticking. Okay.
How about now?
Okay, we can hear you now. So
Thank you.
who was the
So I'll be I'm sorry about that. So I said we understand the implications of Liverpool winning. One of the most beloved basketball players of all time, LeBron James, happens to be a shareholder in Liverpool. And when Chelsea beat Manchester City, it was one of the first people to tweet, "Yeah, Liverpool, we are the Premier League champions." In my mind, I'm like, how many minutes did you play in the match that you're saying we are the Premier League champions? But let's face the NBA. At the end of July, hopefully all things being equal, the NBA season will restart. Now, there are many concerns about this because as we speak, some players have tested positive to the coronavirus, the so-called second wave. And I think the biggest name out of all of them has to be Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, whose team, without question, will be challenging for the title. And so people are coming out to ask questions. Will the league still restart with this second wave of coronavirus? But one thing we understand is there will be testing every day in the bubble in Orlando, right there at the Disney Resort, the ESPN Worldwide Center. So there will be testing going on every day. But people are asking questions. Will the staff of Disney World be subjected to the same amount of testing that the players and officials will be subjected to? And so with all these uncertainties, including guys saying bringing back the NBA now will result in distraction from, the social justice that is being fought with all the riots and protests all over the place in America. And so the question is, guys are not sure whether they are going to play or not. And so because of that, some people have actually pulled out from the league. Avery Bradley of the Los Angeles Lakers came out to announce that he is not going to be playing in the league, but he cited medical reasons for one of his sons as why he would not be playing there. Commissioner of the league, Adam Silver, has made it clear that any player who doesn't want to play, it's fine. You're free not to play. You're not going to be fined. You're not going to be sanctioned and all of that. Guys like Willie Cauley-Stein, they've all said, you know what, we are not going to play. We're still waiting to hear from Dwight Howard, who is one of those who are actually clamoring for the league not to restart because they feel it's going to be a huge distraction to everything going on in the world. Adam Silver has also said they are monitoring the situation with the resurgence of COVID-19 cases, which is at an all-time high in the US right now. And he says if it gets so bad, maybe they may have to put a pause on the league restarting. So a lot of questions will be answered within the next 1 or 2 weeks. But fixtures are out. We know that the Lakers are going to be, playing. It looks like they have an easy set of fixtures. And don't forget how it's going to be. Each team will be playing 8 regular season games in order to determine the overall seeding, for the playoffs. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. And I really want basketball to go on. But trust me, I'll put the health of people above anything sports. We can always do sports later when everything dies down. But I know a lot of people want the action to get back. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
All right. Thank you very much, Ayatunde Nobolu, for giving us updates on the basketball. China, I come to you as we round up. And thank you also to Precious. But please, nobody should sign out. Let's get China to sing the Liverpool anthem for us as we pull out on the celebration. So that's gonna
no, make I sing another one.
No, that's the one.
Make I sing. Liverpool get plenty songs. Make I sing another one.
Okay.
Liverpool get plenty songs. Make I sing another one.
Okay, is that a Pidgin English song that you want to sing? Or
No, we are Liverpool. Tra la 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 la. We are Liverpool. Tra la 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 la. We are Liverpool. Tra la 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 la. The best football league in the world. Yes, we are. Poetry in motion. Tra la 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 la. We've got poetry in motion. Tra la 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 la. Poetry in motion. Tra la 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 la. The best football team in the world. Yes, we are. But, sing another one.
I
No,
beg,
no,
form
no,
still.
no, no, no.
Ayo.
Truly,
I
truly
beg,
and
form still
truly,
there. I want to join Liverpool.
truly and truly, Liverpool are still currently, today, the Champions League defending champions, even though they are out thanks to Atletico Madrid. They are still the World Club champions. They are still the, which other title again? Okay, they didn't win any other title. Then now they are
Yeah.
the English champions. Do you feel like
The
you
Super
guys don't
Cup.
know?
They hold the Super Cup.
Okay,
we
yes.
won't play Universe Cup.
European
We won't play Universe Cup against champions of Mars, Pluto, Saturn, and all. Universe Cup, we won't play.
My friend, bye-bye and good night. Thank you very much, everybody, for being on the show.